Hi guys, my name is Mike and welcome to Ethereal Offerings. Okay, so this week I thought I'd do an altar tour because in last week's video there was a few things I wanted to show you from my altar. So I thought I'd do it this week in a whole full altar tour because I've just moved house, so I have a proper big altar now, which I've used in my old house. I was using like a little bedside table with just like a candle and incense burner, not much on there, which, you know, that's totally fine. You can still do it from that, but now I have a bigger space where I can put a whole lot more stuff, which it kind of helps me because I do use quite a few things in what I do. So I'll just shut up and I'll show you. Okay guys, so just as a quick overhaul, this is my altar is in its entirety before we get a close up. Just this space here. So if we move in closer, up here on the top shelf, residing above everything, is the statues of the main paths that I follow. So we have a Baphomet statue and a Buddha statue, because obviously my two main paths do correlate a lot with Satanism and Buddhism. And then here we have a protective witch jar that I made the other day. Here we have a selenite ball, which I like selenite because it represents the moon. It looks like the moon because I follow the moon phases and I just love the moon. And then behind that we have a clear quartz crystal tree, which is one of my favourite things on this entire altar. It was a Christmas present, and it means so much to me. I can't even begin to describe it, but it has a lot of meaning to me and I love it. So that's why it's on my top shelf, residing above everything. So if we move down, in this corner we have my Palo Santo sticks, because I can't smudge with sage. One, it makes me choke, and I'm asthmatic, and two, it stinks, it's vile, it's horrible stuff. So I use Palo Santo, and I know there's a big thing about whether it's, whether there's not enough of it, whether it's ethically sourced and whatnot. I personally choose to still use it. I understand if people don't, but that's just my personal choice. So over here behind it we have a little dragon eye jar, which if I pull here and open, just some cord. I always keep my cord in here. This is my cord for cord cutting rituals. I always keep that in there. And I use this jar also on my Facebook page to do intuition games. I put crystals in it and then get people to guess what crystal's in it and then reveal it to them later. So that is my dragon eye jar. Behind that you'll notice we have a dragon dagger. This is more for just display purposes. It's not like a really ritualistic dagger or anything like that. But yeah, that's just a dragon dagger. And then over there I have my Tibetan singing bowl, which I do use for crystal cleansing and meditation. And then just there is that's just an ornament. It's a skull and crow, which I got from TK Maxx, or if you're in the US it's TJ Maxx. It was really cheap and I thought it was really cool, so I thought I'd buy it. Just coming down we have my mortar and pestle. This again was a present for Christmas, I believe, or my birthday, one of them, from the same people that got me the crystal quartz tree. And I absolutely love this mortar and pestle because it is all carved from the same tree, which I believe was an oak tree, I think, but it was all carved from the same tree, so it was really cool in that respect. And obviously it was a present, so that means a lot to me as well, that mortar and pestle. And then if we move this way, we have, I love this box. It's obviously a dragon on a treasure box. If you haven't guessed by now, I love dragons. So yeah, this is just a dragon box. If I bring it forward a little bit, it has all my crystals in it. I can't even go in there because there's that many, they'll all fall out. But yeah, that has all my crystals in. And then behind it we have, this is my moon / spirit water. I will do a video on the differences between moon and spirit water and show you how to make spirit water, or my version of spirit water. But yeah, that's what that is. And then next to it in that little jar there, well, little spray bottle there, is smudge spray that I make myself. Because sometimes I like to, instead of if my asthma's really bad, I will spray the area instead of smudging. Instead of smoking the area with smudge. I also like to spray myself when I come in because people's energy is just ugh. So yeah, so it's like safe to spray on yourself and also for your area. Next to it I have this big candle. Now this one obviously is just there for aesthetic purposes today because my other one is nearly burnt down. This I light every time I do anything, any kind of working on this table. There is a candle, a master candle lit. I always have a master candle lit. So that's that one. If it's, obviously I have a white candle if I'm doing light magic, or I'll have a black candle if I'm doing darker magic. And then we come next to it, I have my main master quartz crystal. That is a 25cm clear quartz, which is my favourite crystal I actually own. I love it. I am looking for a bigger one, but for now that is what I use mainly in a lot of my workings. And then here I have my quill and my ink and a stamp, like a wax stamp for sealing letters. That there is just normal ink right now, but I do plan on getting some, I think, is it called bat's blood ink or dove's blood ink, one of them, which it's basically just dragon's blood resin that's been like dissolved in alcohol and a few other things. So you can make it yourself, which I might try, but I also might just buy it as well because I'm not entirely sure if I know properly how to make it, and there is so many different ways of doing it, I just get confused. So yeah, but that's just normal ink at the moment. But I use that for doing petitions, sigils, anything that requires writing. And then if we come down here, oh actually if we go there, I have just my main incense box. I do also have the same type of box but like stood up so that it can save space, but I'm not sure where it is at the moment. So I've been using this one. It's very well used. It wasn't actually black, I just painted it so it could work well with the theme of the room. And then here I have a cauldron, which it has been used a bit recently. I do need some more sand for that. It's quite a big one actually. I don't know if you can compare it. I mean, my hand fits. Oh, I can't lift it right now, but yeah, that fits under there. In fact, I need to lift it to show you this. That is really heavy. Okay, so we have this, which it was an altar table, but it didn't kind of work, so I just took the top off, and you can see where I kind of pulled it apart. But this is, I use it for that because obviously these get hot when it's lit, so I use that to protect the cloth. But I also use it as a crystal grid on the 4 points, and I also use it to put my candle things on with a petition underneath or sigil underneath. That's really heavy. So then we'll move on to these. These are my 2 main candle holders for any sort of candle magic. Now I don't know if anyone else does this, but if you do, let me know. I use this one for lighter magic, and I use this one for darker magic. I don't know if anyone does. Oh, it's gone out of focus. I don't know if anyone else does use separate candle holders or separate equipment. If you do, let me know. Then I have my athame, which I know people have different words for this. You know, people call it an atame, an athame, athame. Well, I call it an athame. You know, people have different words for different things. Now, I'm not going to unsheath it all the way because people are like, oh no, knives, oh. But it is, you know, it's a real knife. And there's also the argument of whether you should actually use real knives or whether they should be made of wood. I personally use that one. If people don't agree, that's fine. And then over in this corner, we have my, let me just move that out of the way. I have my pendulum and tarot, that is the Witch's Tarot deck. And then I have a set of runes and my scrying ball over there, because I love scrying, it's one of my favourite forms of divination. That's just like a corner for divination, all here. And then underneath, which I can't actually get to right now, but underneath I do have a box, which is a locked box. So it's like a cupboard that's locked, and it has all my empty jars, all my full jars of ingredients, all my candles, everything like that. That just want to keep locked away. And then also, if you come back up here, I have that safe there, which has all my voodoo dolls / poppets, whatever you want to call them, which are also locked away. Mainly because I do live with other people and I don't want them going messing with stuff. So I just like to keep them all locked away. So that is my main altar. And then down here I've just got bits of bits of stuff everywhere. That's the bit that you don't need to see because it's really untidy and I really need to sort it out. So yeah. Oh, and up there I have my shelf full of crystals. I don't know if you can see up there. And then this lady here, I don't know if it'll show you if I do it, but if I move, she should follow you round. I'm not sure if it's picking it up on camera. But yeah, that is my altar. I hope you enjoyed it. If there is anything that you like specifically, I want to know where I got it from, just let me know. There we have it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. That was my altar. If you have videos to your altars or you have posts online and you share things like that, then leave your links in the description below, because I love looking at other people's work and getting to know other people. Check out my other social media links down below. If you don't mind, then follow my Facebook page, which is listed below, because most of the workings I do on there are done on here. And yeah, I will see you next week for another video. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me some comments of what you thought. I'd like, if you've got any suggestions what maybe you could add, what you think I could change, what you liked about it, leave me some comments. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Please share on all social medias, so we can try and build this up. My page, my Facebook page, I'm just over 60 something likes now. When I get to 100, I am going to be doing some free readings. So if you haven't already liked it, please go and do. And then you can win the chance to get a free reading. But yeah, that's it. I shall see you next week. Okay, bye.